Hi guys, it's Stu here from 3B. Now, Xbox One X. We all love our Xbox One X. I worship my Xbox One X. So much so that since I've had the Xbox One X, I've not really touched my Sony PlayStation Pro too much. I've done some of the virtual reality stuff, but predominantly it's been the Xbox One X. However, there are some problems I've noticed. Now, I don't know whether this is just me. Perhaps it's just me, who knows? But if you've had these problems, I would like to know your thoughts on them. If you've had other problems, let me know. The first one I've had as regards the the Xbox One X, and this is probably the most annoying for me, is it drops the sound. By that I mean I have the Xbox plugged in through an AVR amp to my TV, the one you see behind me, and I'm using the correct cables, the ones that came with the Xbox One X. The AVR amp is a decent one. I've not had any problems with sound dropping out in terms of other connections, other devices or anything like that. It's very particular just to the Xbox One X. And what tends to happen is if I'm using the Xbox One X and I've not got any sound being pushed through it, so I would say it's just standing still for a bit, what can happen, and this happens a lot, if I'm using it say for 2-3 hours and I go and make a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever, and then I come back and then I go and play it, the sound will have dropped from it. And usually what triggers that is if the Xbox One X is kind of not being used and there's no sound being pushed through with the HDMI, it just gets dropped. Now, I don't know why that is. All I need to do to fix that is to either turn my AVR amp back on and off to trigger the connection back through, or turn my Xbox One X on and off again. I've tried different ports. I'm pretty sure it's not my AVR amp because I've tried the same connections through on different devices and they're fine. I'm not getting any sort of dropout with that. So it's a very odd, peculiar issue, but it's one that only happens if I'm not playing anything in terms of sound through the Xbox One, but it doesn't have to be for very long. Sometimes it's just a few minutes. And I'll go and say watch Netflix, or I'll go and play a game, or I'll go and watch YouTube or whatever, and I'll find there's no sound again. Don't know what the cause is. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's perhaps a slightly dodgy HDMI cable that came with the device, who knows? But that's something I've been having. The other one is an oddity. It's happened a couple of times now. And that's the home screen is just completely grayed out. I've turned on the Xbox One X, and what happens is that the console will load, and instead of getting the home screen that we're used to seeing, I just get grey. But if I press the Xbox button, I'll get the slide-in sidebar appear, and I can select things through that, but if I try and select home, it just goes back to grey. Now previously I thought, well, maybe this is because it was just maybe in standby before, and maybe some of the apps, maybe it was because the Amazon app or the Netflix app has sort of not closed properly. So I launch another app, and the app loads okay, and I go back to the home screen and same thing again. Now the only way I've been able to fix this is to take the power cable out the back, wait for 10 seconds and then plug it back in and restart. It's an annoying thing. It's happened a couple of times, and the only times I've really noticed it happening is when I've started the Xbox One X with one controller, and then someone else at the same time, whilst the Xbox One X is starting, is also starting their controller at the same time whilst the Xbox One X is starting. I've noticed that's possibly when it's happened. I've not been able to replicate it all the time, but it's happened a couple of times, and that's when it's happening. when I've done that with just the controller, one controller, it's not happened. So those are the two issues that I faced so far. Overall, I'm really happy with the Xbox One X. It's an amazing machine. Assassin's Creed Origins blew me away last year, more so than Horizon Zero Dawn did on the PlayStation Pro, which I thought was amazing. But when the Assassin's Creed Origins came along and I saw that and played that for over 45 hours on the Xbox One X, it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So have you had any bugs? Have you had any issues with your Xbox One X? Let me know if you have any thoughts in terms of how to fix the issue as regards the sound drop. Again, let me know. And also regards if you've seen any of the grey screen nonsense that I've seen. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to sort of mention anything you've cared to mention in the comments below. Thanks very much. Take good care, and I'll see you again very soon.